Okay, I was a little confused by this discussion post, but I'm going to give it my best shot. Requirements used to determine if a death warrants a homicide investigation. According to Criminal Investigation in Chapter 8, the four categories of death are natural, accidental, non criminal, suicide, and homicide, non criminal or criminal. I feel you need to rule out different classifications of death before you can decide it as a homicide. And if you are going to decide it's a homicide, you need to have evidence gathered that establishes someone else was involved in the taking of that life of the victim that you found. Um, Natural causes can be proven by an autopsy with a medical examiner. Accidental deaths can also be proven by an autopsy with a medical examiner, but that isn't always the case. Accidental deaths can make it look like it was accident, but it could have actually been a homicide. The example I saw was you find a body next to a house that looked like it fell off a roof, and the injuries show that it did fall off a roof. But where's the evidence where they could have been pushed? That's the job of the criminal investigator, I would assume, try to rule that out. Or to try to rule that that's what happened, finding that evidence to make it like a homicide. Suicides, they're tricky. Suicides can be made to look like homicide, and then a homicide can be made to look like suicide to cover up what someone has done. So for me, it seems like it's a very tricky process. You have to be very good at your job to find the evidence you need to establish that that death will be a homicide investigation. There may be clear signs, but I would feel like it's not always easy. Otherwise, it would be a much easier job. And I know from what I've learned about so far that this is not an easy job sometimes.